Everyone, it's LS, and this is the patch 14.21 notes rundown here on the FlyQuest LOL YouTube channel, and we're going to get right into it. So, patch highlights. There are a lot of nerfs and a lot of buffs in the adjusted Swain, which I'm actually very excited to talk about, and a bunch of really cool skins. So, obviously, the skins are the highlight of the patch. Overview. Champion bounties are now based on gold earned and lost, as opposed to kill-death streaks and the relative amount of farm. Gold from champion-specific sources, e.g. Draven's Abjuration, Twisted Fate, Loaded Dice, never contribute to champion bounties. Very good to know. Bounties will not display on the scoreboard until they are worth at least 150 gold and update in further increments of 50 gold. The shutdown announcement will display for any champion killed. Cool. Very good. Champion bounties obviously being overhauled, positive bounties, etc. These are all really good changes. Okay. Objective bounty. Void grubs now contribute. Experience differences contribute about 40% less. Very nice. Gold differences contribute about 25% more. Very nice. Turret and Drake differences are slightly more likely to contribute. That's favorable for scaling. Scaling comps that want to give up first two Drakes and then play against it. Right? Play on third dragon. Objective bounties will deactivate more quickly when the losing team makes a comeback. Objective bounties are ending soon, timer 60 to 30 seconds. That's very big. Objective bounties are decreased by 20 to 40%. Ooh, Baron Nashor base objective bounty is down by 200 as well. Interesting. Okay. All right, so let's get into the changes. Aurelian Soul. Base health is decreased, E damage is decreased. Base health is going to go down by a flat 20. E Singularity is going to lose 20% AP. Wow. That is actually crazy. So Aurelian Soul, typically he builds like Leandri, so that's 70 AP. He has D-Rings, that's, 88 AP. Then he has the 9, so he's at 97 there. And then what's his second item? I guess his second item, in a lot of cases, is like sometimes Blackfire Torch or like Rylai's or like these types of things. These items also don't particularly have a whole lot of AP. So, I mean, it's going to be a while until Aurelian gets over like 200, 300 AP. So realistically, losing 20% of that, not the end of the world, but it is still quite a bit of damage missing from his Singularity. It's just a nerf that's obviously targeted at lower MR. It does just feel really bad when there's no compensation, nerfs or buffs. Listen, Mr. Perlman, I know that you might actually be in chat right now because you just made Ambessa and we just spoke and I complimented you and all this other great stuff. But listen, I don't know what you're doing to Asol, but he needs some compensation buffs here. Whoa, what's going on? Azir. Health, regen, and AD increase. So the really cool thing about this is that if you actually go into Azir's patch notes, he's now completely undone from one of the nerfs that he ended up receiving. And so now Azir on his first recall, he's getting almost half a potion worth of HP again. So now he's getting basically an entire potion from where he was nerfed previously on his first reset. So that's really big. The attack damage going up by a flat 4. Well, that actually seems minor. I don't think it is with the amount of auto attacks he actually weaves in on opposing champions. And then also if you're doing like Grasp Azir and you really want to be doing autos and all this other type of stuff, it's a very, very big change for Azir. Brand, mono regen 10.69 to 9. Passive Ablaze is going to go down by 1% max HP, but the 2% per 100 AP is going to stay. So 1% max HP. Super early on, it doesn't really do a whole lot. Because again, you're talking about champions have anywhere from like 600 to 1,000 in the super early stages of the game. So when you're talking about 1% of his passive, you're talking about anywhere from 6 to 10 damage. Not the end of the world, guys. However, the Seer, the monocross is going up by 20. They're really making it so that Brand is having a lot more difficulty in mid and support. They are just continuing to try to hammer away at him, and obviously the mono region. So while these changes don't hit jungle super much, they are continuing to just nerf Brand, and Brand has been nerfed indirectly via itemization, with Leandri's and all these other items getting hit and whatnot. Brand's just in a bad spot. Camille is having a lot of her changes that she received many patches ago actually removed back from her again, so people will probably overreact to this, but she's still going to be completely fine and competitive in spots where Camille is good. So base health is going to go down by 20. W Tactical Sweep 70 to 190 plus 60% bonus AD to 50 to 150 plus 60% bonus AD. Outer bonus cone damage is unchanged. Clarified in the tooltip that the max health damage has a 300 monster damage cap. E-Wall Dive is losing 15% bonus AD, so this is obviously painful. Our Hextech Ultimatum is losing all of the bonus damage on hit. right? So, yeah, I mean, she's keeping the current percent HP. Again, Camille is getting tagged. This will be very big for her in solo queue. Competitive, she's going to be okay. Corki, the cool thing here is the bonus true damage is going up by 5% on his passive. That's actually quite big. So they were a bit cautious how much more daring we could make Corki in the last patch, but now that we have a firmer grasp on when we're adding substantial damage to what W does, we're keen to do it again. Overall, we're hoping to upgrade his damage, particularly in the early game, as he earns gold with an eye parts of his kit and game times that align more strongly with bot lane. Okay. So W Valkyrie, maximum damage, 154, 50 plus 150% bonus AD, 150% AP, to 200, so it's getting a flat 50 rank 1 to 500, 200% bonus AD, 150% AP, but it's not saying that 40% of the damage is up front. So that's what was on PBE. I don't know if that's actually here. I'm going to treat it like it is still here. If it is still here, I do actually ponder about W max first Corki. Because you get 500 damage, 40% up front, 200% bonus AD. Like, this is crazy. If that's not what it is, then his buffs are actually really nice, but listen, guys, he's just going to end up as a mid laner. Like, that's just how it is. He's just going to be a mid, because Corki simultaneously wants both gold and he wants levels, because that's how you guys made him. So he's not going to end up bottom, because it's logical for him to end up bottom. It just doesn't make sense. The only way that you're going to make it so that he ends up bottom or something is if you make his true damage deal more, potentially, to CC'd targets. You give him something like Lucian, and you make it so he does obscene amounts of damage with his passive, and then you reduce the damage from his primary abilities, and that way he's tied to a support. Then he's bottom, probably. Yeah. I don't know where we're going with this. He's just going to be mid. No matter what changes you try to do, he's just mid. Unless you make it so that he somehow has a dependency on allies. That's whatever. Okay. Elise. Armor growth is decreased unless you guys manage to convince people by you keep writing that he's only supposed to be bot, and then somehow he ends up bot, and then social conformity. I see what you're doing. You guys are a freak. You know what I mean? Absolutely. All right, well, okay, Elise, armor growth is decreased, whatever, doesn't matter. It's 0.7, so even super early on, we did this on one of the co-streams recently, where, you know, even if you're losing 2.4 armor, it's 0.5% of damage, okay? So she's losing 0.7, so 2.8, right, by like level 4, level 5, you know, around this mark, 3.5, etc. She's losing 0.5% of damage, which means that if, you know, 0.5%, guys. You do 1,000 damage to Elise, 0.5%. Fiddlesticks. Q damage is decreased. Q terrifies 6 to 10% plus 2% per 100 AP of target's current health to 5 to 9%, so just 1% flat. Amplified damage is also going down because it's doubled, so that's whatever. Its current health, not the end of the world, does suck when you cast it, obviously, on a max HP target, especially in mid-late game. Does suck. One of the champions I play, so I am a little bit sad about it, but Fiddlesticks definitely is strong. Totally fine. Galio, mana decreased. Yeah, we're just not ripping 90 mana from him out of nowhere. This is so crazy. You wake up and lose 20% of your max mana level 1. Just like, what is going on? Galio is hard to deal with, and it does feel like he has infinite mana, and it feels like he does just endlessly wave clear. Tuv loves it. I don't know what he's smiling about as he walks by. It's totally fine. But this just doesn't make any sense. Galio also does have flex potency and stuff. I would love to see them do something to give him more monster damage, and Galio ends up as a jungler. That's what I would really like. Gangplank. Gangplank mono regen increased. E recharge time is reduced. Mono regen going up by 0.5. E powder keg, so he's probably going to get 1 extra ability cast per reset. And then E powder keg is going to go from 18 to 14 to 17 to 13, 1 second entirely shaved off it. It's a really big buff for Gangplank. And it also helps him itemize differently. So very nice changes for GP. So now, you know, in competitive, coming in as a counter pick, a little bit more possible. These aren't like the end of the world changes. He definitely still needs other stuff. Gwen, passive damage is decreased. Passive 1,000 cuts. Griffin, who's streaming right now, I think on Twitch, going to be very sad about this as he is a Gwen one trick. You know, we take a look at Griffin here, and let's see what he's one tricking right now. And he's back to Skarner. So, you know, maybe taking the Gwen changes here a little bit too serious. But yeah, he's absolutely a Gwen one trick. Also the proud owner of 0.6, 0.68. But yeah. Gwen nerfs, they're going to hurt jungle, I would say, more than it would hurt top lane, but Gwen is a counter pick only champion anyway. Hui, QQ damage decreased, E cooldown is increased. QQ devastating fire. So what? The base damage is going down by 10. And the AP by 5%. That's actually a little bit painful. E subject torment, the cooldown on it is just going up by a flat 1. This is totally fine. Hui is totally bonkers as a champion. I think these changes are still totally fine. The way that he itemizes is not going to be the end of the world. Aurelia is quite sad in both the top and mid and overly reliant on waiting for her first item. This is a champion that you don't pick it unless you're Aurelia King, and then if you're Aurelia King, you also realize that even you can't make it work, so you don't pick it. Blade Surge going down by 1 second at all ranks. Mana cost going down by 5. Damage is also going to be increasing by 10% total AD. Bonus damage to minions is also going down, but it's fine because it's made up by the total percent AD, so it does not matter. It's just balancing out. So this is really good for Aurelia that builds like 2 AD items super early on. It's not what's preventing Aurelia from being able to be competitively viable or even pickable. It doesn't really do anything, but it will move the solo queue win rate. Kaisa, passive damage is decreased. Passive, second skin, initial damage 5 to 23 based on level, plus 15% AP to 4 to 24 based on level. Plus 12% AP. Per stack damage 1 to 12 based on level, plus 2.5% AP to 1 to 6, plus 3% AP, so 0.5% AP. You need an insane amount of AP to make this obviously catch back up, which is not happening. Maximum damage 9 to 71 plus 25% to 8 to 48 plus 24%. So this obviously sucks. You just can't make it really, So AP Kaisa continues to get hit, but it's fine. Season 15 around the corner. We'll see if there's new items in store for us. Karthus, our damage is decreased. Our Requiem, so down by 5% total AP. Karthus does actually get quite a bit of AP, but even early game, this isn't really mattering so much. If you just have like 1 or 2 extra Dark Harvest stacks, or maybe you're playing First Strike, etc. But if you're playing Dark Harvest, you have 1 extra 2 Dark Harvest stack. So basically, like you're losing a Dark Harvest stack. That's the way to look at it. Until way later on. Kassadin getting tagged for no reason whatsoever, just losing 10% AP off of his Q, kind of brutal, and then E Force Pulse, losing 5%. So does really hurt AP Kassadin, doesn't hurt tank Kassadin, although not too many people play that right now, so again, wait for Season 15. Kayle, the thing that's happening here is that she's getting a free W cast in lane. It's actually not 90 to 75. It actually ended up being 90 to 70. So a little bit different than PBE. You're probably going to get 1 or 2 extra W cast for free in laning phase. So you do that, and then you calculate how much HP you're getting from it, and then that equals what you're getting. That is actually quite nice. That's a lot of extra HP being given to Kayle. I think Kayle is totally broken. I think people that, obviously talk about her and all this other good jazz, they cope, because in competitive, especially with lane swaps and all this other type of stuff, you're going to be able to get her out of laning phase. You're going to be able to get her in the game. Kayle is definitely a viable competitive champion. Malphite, base health is increased by 21. So this is funny. So he's getting 2 on his Granite Shield. And if you Granite Shield 10 to 12 times in laning phase because you're doing it well, you're getting like half an auto attack worth of HP in addition to half an auto attack worth of HP on base health. So that's kind of funny. So whatever. Just really funny. Nasus, passive lifesteal reduced, Q damage is decreased. Nasus has been nerfed, unplayable, ridiculous now, but it doesn't really matter at all. And then bonus physical damage on Siphon Strike. It was actually buffed in previous patch by a flat 10, I think, and now it's nerfed by 5, so it's still up 5 from where it was at once upon a time. Nyla, Q and R quality of life adjustments, totally fine. Nyla, very good, very strong champion. Just have to pair her well, pick her well, and then obviously commit time to learning her so that you don't look like a clown on her. Kiana health regen increased, W damage is increased. So this is obviously good for laning phase. So she gets 2 per 5, so 4 per 10, right? That's quite nice. You get 24 per minute. You lane for 4 minutes. Maybe you lane for 5 minutes. You get almost a potion in laning phase. Depending on how you're doing. If you're, that's the way to look at it, right? And then RW Terra Shape damage is not going up flat, but it's going up by 10% bonus AD. So that's obviously nice. I don't know if that helps her wave clear. It helps her it definitely helps her in mid. But overall, I think that, changes like this just are better suited for jungle. Or not that it's better suited for jungle, the changes, but Kiana in jungle, it just functions better. Senna armor and armor growth reduced. Armor 28 to 25, and then 0.7 is missing here. So in total, she's probably going to be taking, I would guesstimate, somewhere around, in laning phase, probably around 2 to 3% more damage. is what I would imagine this all adds up to, like, you know, first reset or something like that. So that's fine. Sipper, base AD increased, Q damage is increased. Okay, so 2 AD, totally fake. Q boomerang, 15 to 75. 80 to 100% total AD to 60% AP. 60 to 160. So, wait, what? Wow. She's probably getting, like, anywhere from 40 to 70 damage. 40 to 70 damage added on Q. That is disgusting. That is so disgusting. That's a big Q buff. Now, I don't know how that affects her wave clear, but obviously, like what? That's a lot of damage on an ability. I had to, like, do a number crunch real quick. That's weird. That's a big buff for Sivir. Swain. Champion's busted. If you followed my patron tier lists for a while, and we're updating another one on 1421, also a bunch of other stuff, and all that other good jazz. Swain is crazy. He's been crazy. They made him crazier. So here's the thing. The health regen is down by a flat 4 and also plus 0.5 per level now from 0.68. Mana down by 68. Mana regen is up by 2, so from 8 to 10. So during laning phase, you will end up having more mana than you had before. Just your base mana on resets is going to be a little bit hurt, so that's whatever. Your health regen is also down. However, with passive Ravenous Flock, healing 3 to 6% max HP at levels 1, 6, 11, 16 to 3 to 6% max HP linear means that these have, like, 3.2, 3.4, etc. Because of this, if you're getting passive stacks, it balances out the health regen, and you can actually potentially have more HP, depending on how well you're doing with passive stacks. Now, if you're not doing well on passive stacks, yes, you will be missing a little bit of HP, but not a whole lot, because who doesn't get a little bit of passive stacks in laning phase? Q Death's Hand. Mana cost 45 to 65, 40 to 60. 1 bolt damage 65 to 145, 40% AP to 60 to 160 plus 45% AP. So getting a flat 15 plus 5% AP. Extra bolt damage is also just going to 25% of initial hit. Maximum damage 125 to 365, 80% AP to 120 to 320 plus 90% AP. So you need 10% AP to chase the missing 45. So from 450 AP up, his maximum damage is buffed. So that's kind of cool. So this is totally fine. Early on, obviously, you get a little bit more, or like mid-game-ish, you get a little bit of help. W Vision at the Empire, this is crazy, by the way. 80 to 220 plus 55% AP to 70 to 210 plus 60% AP. So you need 5% AP to make up the difference of 15 damage. Not the end of the world. And then the slow duration, 2.5 to 1.75. So the slow duration is going down. However, the slow is going from 25 to 65% to 50 to 70. Rank 1 is 50. What? Hello? And then reveal duration is also now just a flat 6, which I mean, obviously, like, this is just a buff. This is just a buff because you don't get points on this last anyway. Never move. Now, this is crazy as well. So they're making it so that you have to max it second in order to get benefit from the cooldown reduction. So 10 to 14 to 10. So it's a little bit less spammable in laning phase. And again, you're going to be putting points into it second, so you're not going to start seeing the secondary points until after you're level 6 anyway, so there's no way to really play around this. Mana is going to go from 50 to 60, so it is a little bit increased mana. Now, do remember that, you have mana being reduced here by 5. So with the E and everything, that's balancing out as well as the mana regen. Outgoing missile speed, 935 to 275 to 1125 to 1800. So the initial outgoing missile speed early on is actually up, which is really good for laning. And then in the later stages of the game, it has a little bit more counterplay. Outgoing missile travel time, 0.55 to 0.667 to 0.6. Return missile speed is steroided. So when you do throw it out, they can dodge it on the initial go out, but on the comeback, it's a lot harder to dodge. And so this is all really big. The missile width is also increased, so it's making it easier to hit. Maximum damage 70 to 250% AP to 80 to 240 plus 60% AP. So you only need 100 AP to make up the difference. That's crazy. And then even at rank 1, it's actually increased. And then this continues to increase. Pass-through damage removed. Detonation damage 35 to 75, 25% AP to 80 to 240 plus 60% AP. What is going... Detonation... What? Okay. Our Demonic Ascension, Demon Flare may be repeatedly cast every 8 seconds. So you're probably going to get at least 1 additional cast in, a team fight. Up to 2, I think. I think any more than that is ridiculous. Up to 100 times, good luck. First cast is still available after 2 seconds. So cooldown 100 to 60 after transform ends to 120 when transform begins. So transform begins, you have some ability haste. It's probably going to be somewhere around 100. Transform begins, transform ends. You probably have 80 seconds, maybe 70 seconds on cooldown, whatever, right? Not the end of the world. Anyone who talks about cooldowns when we're talking about 80 seconds, 70 seconds, 60 seconds, etc., totally nonsense. If your ultimate is 30 seconds to 80, 90 seconds, is basically the same thing. 30 to 90 seconds, same thing in competitive and in solo queue. Check the amount of times that you cast your ultimate on champions that have ultis in that range, and then see how often it would come up again before the next fight. More often than not, League of Legends operates generally around 90 to 120 second intervals anyway. So this nerf is fake. It does not really matter because, again, Swain's ultimate is also conditional on when he wants to cast it. So whatever. Demon Flare, 150, 360% AP to 150 to 350. So the base is increased, but the AP is down by 10%. Totally fine. You don't actually start feeling the pain on that until you'd exceed 500 AP. So that's totally good. And again, base just being so up is very good, but you don't see that until mid-game. Demon Flare decaying slow is up by 15%. Very nice. And then damage per second, 20 to 60, 10% AP to 15 to 35 plus 5% AP. So the damage per second is down. So that's a little bit painful. And then the heal per second, 15 to 40, 18% AP to 15 to 45 plus 5% AP. So you're missing 13% AP, but now you have a 1.25% bonus HP modifier. So obviously, like, Rod of Ages potentially becomes really good on him. And obviously, like, Abyssal Mask and these types of things. We're probably going to end up getting, like, weird build Swain. I'm going to definitely think about this more. I already can tell you guys that he's already recommended on the patron tier list for this patch. I actually have a short coming out on him on TikTok and everything else, probably tomorrow or the next day. But yeah, I'm going to definitely look at him and theorycraft a build, you know. So yeah, Talon, W damage is increased, rake damage is going up by a flat 10, and a 10% bonus AD. I don't think this does anything for mid, it's more important for, like, jungle. W Bastion, Tark's armor, bonus armor is going down by a flat 3%, just because. Now Tark is actually disgusting. He's one of the best supports that you can be picking, so there is that. He is still, like, free low, and he's still going to be free low for you in solo queue if you do play him. Teemo, base health is now up by 17 flat. Huge. This is one of the lower base healths in the game that I've noticed. W move quick is up by a flat 2% at all ranks, and obviously it's doubled when you activate it. This is actually really big because you don't put points into Teemo's W until rank or level 14. So you just have a free 2% for basically the majority of the game. Now, there are some cases where you only do, like, Q to 3, max E and then max W, or you do, Q max with, like, 2 or 3 points in E, and then max W. It really depends on what you're doing, but for the most part, that's the case. Viego armor growth does not matter. I showed this on stream where I ran the numbers for you guys because there was the Perry Jungle tweet that, he said that you'll notice this at level 4. You will not notice it at level 4. At level 4, this is 0.5% damage loss or reduction, right? Lost. So if you do Viego's entire health bar, now you'll deal 4 more damage. So, anyways, Volibear. Sky Splitter is going up by a flat 2 seconds. This is actually where it used to be at. This is just a nerf to all variants of Volibear. Bonus strike damage up by 5% on Xayah. She's already really good as a counterpick and support. Oh my god, he's dead! No. He's not. Because this isn't what makes Yone oppressive. There's too many things making Yone oppressive. Now, he does get double hit because I think that we're going to end up seeing Blade of the Ruin King is also nerfed in this patch, but he does not need to. There's a lot of things going on with Yone, all right? Total damage, you're now going to get 1% more max HP back. Now, again, when you're laning against Yone in laning phase, you have 600 to 1,000 HP in laning phase. That means that his W is now dealing anywhere from 6 to 10 less. Now, let's say that he hits you a little bit early on with a W, right? First one is 6. Second one is 7. We're at 13. The next one is also 7. We're at 20. The next one after that, he hits you for 8. We're at 28. He hits you for 1 more. 8 more. Congratulations. You got 36 more HP in landing phase against Yone. What an absolutely obnoxious joke of a nerf. 36 more HP is what you can roughly guess that you are now going to have against Yone in landing phase. Yorick. Pet damage is decreased. Passive Shepherd of Souls, 2 to 88 based on level. Yorick is especially dominant in lower MMR play. It'd be nice if he wasn't so reliant on his opponents failing to realize they can one-shot my goals with any basic attack. So he's just getting nerfed, and I agree with them that he is really dominant in pro play. I just really wish that they would give his W like 150 extra range, and then he's instantly pro play viable. Yeah. Sparkbun Boots continues to go down by 3. This is actually really painful for a lot of the Assassin AP champions, or just like full pen builds, etc. Painful for Zoe, painful for a lot of stuff. This is like bordering on Ionian Boot meta coming back, just to be honest. Blade of the Rune King. Mist Edge is going to go from 10 to 6% to 8 to 5%. This is a nerf to Viego and several other champions. You do lose 2% of the target's current HP and whatnot. So if their HP is 2,000, you lose 40% on the first hit. And lose another 40. As they continue to go down, that number will gradually decrease. But yes, you are probably losing about 150-ish damage, most likely in trade sequences with Blade, which is a very big nerf off an item. Runes, recommended runes are updated. Lethal Tempo, melee attack speed per stack is going up by 1%. But I don't necessarily still think that Yone and stuff are going to take that. ARAM changes, and that is it. Now, what you guys all came here for. The skins. Oh my lord. Holy. Oh, I'd love to we could all go for a good moon, you know what I mean? Everyone wants to be mooned in their life, if you know what that means. Who is this actually? What? Diana, Zoe, Kaisa, Silas, and Yorick. So this is Diana. Oh, Prestige. Guys, you always got to remember to get the Prestige skin. Even though there's like almost no discernible difference between the two splash arts and it literally looks like you're just spending money to spend money, it's really important that you do get the Prestige skin, even though this doesn't seem to actually have any Prestige aesthetics on the splash art, and I don't entirely know why. They'll know that it's the Prestige skin though, because when you load in, it says Prestige, and when you load in and it says Prestige, you let the opponent know that you have money. Okay, and that's what really the Prestige skins are all about. It's about making them feel bad, all right? Now, you might load into the game, and depending on what server you're on, you might still have all chat, and they might just flame you for having a Prestige skin. You might notice this more, especially if you have the Faker Ari skin. You might be, called a slew of slurs, even, and then, no one likes you. But listen, your mom still likes you, and I like you too. So, yeah, Prestige Diana, make sure to get that one. Okay, so then we go Zoe Kaisa. So this is Zoe, and honestly, she does look like something out of a horror movie. This skin looks absolutely fabulous. This is actually one of the better splash art skins that I've seen. She does just kind of look like a demon. She does look like an imp. And I think that that's really cool. This is who? Silas? I think this is Silas. He kind of has an Oni, or yeah, he kind of has like an Oni vibe, going on. This kind of looks like too furry, almost like for his hair. Cool skin. I don't know exactly how it looks in game. This is Kaisa. It's so sad that she actually got nerfed on this patch. This is a beautiful skin. This is a beautiful splash art. I am really liking it. And then what the hell is this? Yorick, but he just got nerfed too. Super sick skin as well. Darkstar skins always sort of knock it out of the park. The Winter Blessed and Darkstar and Fright Night sometimes are basically my 3 favorite skin lines. It's like really hard to top them. Is that Nocturne? That's Nocturne, no? I wonder if there's any, wait, that's crazy. That's Nocturne. Okay. So let's actually take a look at what they look like. Okay. So this is Diana in game. Nope, not feeling it. What's the Prestige one? I'm not feeling this skin at all. This skin, I'm not feeling this at all. I think this skin does not look very good in game. This just, you look like you'd find her at the red light district. Does she not look like that? You literally look like you would, when you take a wrong turn and those people come up to your car, what is going on here? She looks like, God. The Zoe skin looks horrifying. Actually, you know what? No, this looks like a bad horror movie skin. This actually looks like when Netflix didn't give you the budget for the horror show. You know what I mean? This is like Chucky meets that Goosebumps doll type thing. It kind of looks like a wooden what is it? Is it a Tiki Jiki mask, or what is it called? I don't even actually know. It just looks like that mask from Crash Bandicoot, or whatever the hell it is. This skin looks kind of cool. She looks like a fallen angel. I don't like how they did double green and double blue. I don't know why there's not a white skin here. Like, I feel like a really, like, neon white type skin would go hard. Like, that would actually make her look angelic. Like, imagine, like, a really whitish skin with, like, the black wings. I think that would look really cool. Too many of these skins look way too similar. Like, the chromas almost have no discernibility. Also, this does not look darkstar-y. This looks like Samus Aran got into some, like, really weird body paint. I feel like I just turned on Twitch TV. You know what I mean? And I'm just, like, going to the weird sections. Is this Amaranth? I don't even actually know. Anyways. Okay, so Darkstar Yorick knocked it out of the park. This is crazy. This kind of looks like those infernal things in World of Warcraft. Actually, this does look like an infernal in World of Warcraft, or like the Dust Devils. This skin is nuts. This one's really good. The art on this, the aesthetics, everything. This skin's really good. Wow. Okay. So yeah, all the other skins. Oh, Silas. Oh, Silas's skin is really cool too. This looks like a Tekken character. Almost, or it looks like it looks like a Tekken character. Like, I could see this being in a video game. This is really good. And you see like this white skin, right? Like, well, I mean, is it even white? I mean, I guess this one's like trying to do it, but this one just has way better color. And even this crimson, this magenta one's not really doing it for me. And then this burgundy, no, not quite. Yes, yes. And then this azure is like, I mean, it's okay. And then this emerald or like jade, whatever you want to call it. This jade one's actually really nice. The jade one's really nice. The base skin's really nice. The like burgundy, yeah, the burgundy or mahogany. Would that be the other? Yeah, mahogany. Yeah, it would be mahogany red. I just had to make sure that I was, I'm keeping everyone's radars afloat with that one. You know what I mean? This isn't like fucking Blue's Clues. But yeah, the Kaisa skin's just not doing it. Kaisa skin actually almost needs a rework. Like this is some Samsung white levels of just not doing it for me. Okay, that is it for the patch note. I hope you guys enjoyed.